I think loyalty will hold you back. Being loyal is a problem. I can explain different ways in my way in the construction industry. When I was too loyal to a company, the other company did not want to service me because they feel like I was too loyal and other stuff. And at one point, I was going to stop using them. So for a person or for anybody, any employee, any person, stuff like that, that they need to make sure that they say they're loyal, but what is it for them to make sure that they can still stay loyal? Because there's a lot of people that wasted most of their life for being loyal and they never say anything. And I'm not going to say all the businesses, but most of the businesses, they don't appreciate their employees. They don't take care of the employees. They treat the employees. The employee, from being loyal, they feel like there's no other place. And I can prove you how I feel long time ago. I used to do a lot of work for Disney. And I thought Disney was the only one that had work. So when I got out of Disney, because of the situation that I need to grow and all that stuff, I wasn't expanding. So I went into the commercial world and I find out that there was more opportunities, that it was more to it. So what I'm saying is, don't let nobody hold your dreams, hold your growth and all that stuff because you don't think there's no other options, that company that you think is paying well, is going to take care of you for the rest of your life. So by being loyal, that's a problem for you on the personal because it's holding you, and you only say something when shit hits the fan. The owner doesn't appreciate you more, and finally tells you, and you notice that there's something wrong, but that owner hasn't pulled the trigger of getting rid of you, and I really believe that that's why a lot of people, they still think that they're valuable to a company and they still being appreciated, but they're not. It's just a matter of time when they identify that they're no longer there, and the only way they're no longer wanted there, but the only way that they're going to identify, because the loyalty in front doesn't let them see, is by when the owner talks shit, or when the owner move away from you, or when the owner brings somebody to do what you're doing or above you, and you thought that you was the person for the rest of his life. And that's when you understand that, wow, I was too loyal to a company. And you leave that company with a lot of pain because you did it with your heart, you did it with your intention, you did it with your loyalty. So it's a big, big, big problem. Loyalty is a big problem out there in the world. So, yeah, loyalty is a big weakness, 100%, for both. Don't stay loyal, don't stay uh, committed. And the reason I say that is because what is it for you? What is it for the company? Do an agreement, do a rolling responsibility. We have rolling responsibility. We should know, and we should have targets. I do PPF goals with my guys, and the reason I didn't follow up yet or whatever, I mean, I'm busy, right? But the purpose of that is so I can help them identify where they want to go, where they want to be. But they also have to help me take the company to the next level, because at the end of the day, people move companies, not companies move people. So we need those people, and what is it for them? So at the end of the day, we have to do. I ask you this question: are you doing the PPFs on your team? If you're not, I'm asking you to please go ahead and do it, please, as a friend, as a partner, as a whatever. So let's do it, because the team needs to know that they're growing. They need to know that they're winning. They need to know that you also winning, right? So yeah, being loyal is a problem both ways. The way you look at it, I give you the example from when I used a supplier and this one did not want to supply me. I used the example of how you get locked and being loyal, and you don't explore all the options. I'm not saying go and look for a job. I'm not saying go and look for other options. I'm just saying that get yourself attractive, that the options come to you, and it's up to you based on how you've been taking care of the company where you're working at, either it's a good option or not. No, you don't have to be competitive. You just have to be attractive. Because at the end of the day, what is it that you add into that company? What value are you adding to the company? Because wherever you go, it's not about competitor. You can be competitor here, competitor there. You're just gonna be I'm sorry that I use this. You're gonna be a whore from company to company to company. So, what value you add, who you are, that you add to that company, so that company can also commit to you. Because 100% of the time, the company tells you where they're gonna go, what is the expectations from you. They didn't give up on you. You gave up. You're the person. I always talk about this. Before you give up on the company, you give up on yourself first. That's what people do. So it's not about competitors, it's adding value, because the company, the more value you add, the more value they add back to you. A lot of people concentrate on having two jobs. Fuck that. Forget that. Create one job, see the needs of the organization you're working for, and figure out how to fix the issues that they already have, and just talk to your leader, talk to the person above you, and say, look, I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. Add value. Added value is the solution, so you don't have to go and stressed out in two jobs, because now you're going to screw this job, and you're going to screw your other job, you're going to screw your sleep, you're going to screw your life, you're going to screw everything around you, and you're going to get fired from here, fired from there, and you're not going to have a solution, an option, and nothing. You'll be back out in the dark, starting from zero. So what I'm saying is, stay where you are, figure out how to add value to the company, and take it from there. Yeah, it's about adding value both ways. 100% is adding value both ways, and there was the area of being loyal. There was the area of being hard worker. It was an area or discipline. It was an area of integration. Now it's the area of data. Now is the era. I'm sorry, the era of data and leadership. But leadership is not kicking in right now. It's not kicking in right now. Leadership will kick out probably in about 2-3 years from now. And then forget the rest, forget data. Everybody should have the data in about 3 years. If you don't got the data, you're dead. So leadership kicks in. So at the end of the day, to go back to what I say, yeah, you just add value and stay consistent, and make sure it works both ways, and stay up to what the company needs, and grow with the company. Because for me, this is how I look at it. This is how I take my businesses. If there's a company that wants to use me, if I'm not improving myself, I don't add no value. Can they grow? No. But if I'm improving and I'm spending too much, now they can go for bigger opportunities, so they can give me more, so they can help me grow more, so that I can support them to do more. And that's how companies grow. And that's how also B2B grows, but that's also how companies grow, because if the team not expanding, the company cannot expand. People got to take positions in life and other roles, so the company can keep growing and expanding. Nah, they don't care at all. The owner played that game. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're a good employee. At the end of the day, okay, let me take it back. So the owner doesn't care. You leaving, you leaving. Don't give you 2 week notice. The owner already know you quit 2 months ago. On his time, on his payroll, you already made calls, you already decide, you already slacked, you already took advantage of the company. So the owners don't give a F. The only thing they care is where they want to be. And let me take it back. They care if you care. But what happens is, why you should worry about somebody leaving if they already decide to leave. Trying to hold it is not good for the company. It's not healthy for the team around the company, because it's going to bring rejection, because that person maybe open a door, an opportunity into somebody's mind that now he can come and take over. He was waiting for that. So as soon as that person comes, the whole team is celebrating, and you, the owner, is the only one that don't know, because you don't care, right? You care, right? But everybody's celebrating, and like, how do I not knew this? Why I didn't fire this person long time ago? So all these things come to play. So If the person is leaving, is leaving. We should not give 2 week notice. We should not. The employee, as the employee, should not retain somebody for 2 weeks, because now that person can be talking to other person and the environmental increase that I'm leaving for more money, I'm leaving for this, I'm leaving for that, they didn't treat me right. It brings feelings. Fuck that. This message for my employees, guys, don't give me a 2 week notice. Just tell me, hey, I'm leaving today, and that's it. But one suggestion, one message I want to send to everybody out there is like, if you're gonna quit to start your own business, my suggestion is that you quit 2 months ago, right? I know. So stay consistent. Do what you're supposed to do every day into the day that you leave. Because if you're doing it to others, somebody's gonna do it to you, and you're not gonna like it. So at the end of the day, people leave 2 months before. Grant Cardone always talk about that. He's like, why I didn't have the time to fire it? Why it took me so long? So yeah, I believe that the owner doesn't care, and that's it. That's my opinion, and really they don't care. They don't care because, and let me take you why business owners don't care. In a company, 60% of the money lost is because the top third. There's 3/3. One top third is the decision makers, the big decision makers and the owners, and the middle third is the managers. The bottom third, we don't care. They're gonna leave you for 25 cents. They're gonna leave you for $1. Fuck them. So we don't care about that. And I'm saying it bad, but it's not bad. We care, but they don't care for you. They're not committed to you. The middle third, the managers, that's the ones that the wives and everybody hold them from leaving. That's the ones that if they're hitting their KPIs, they're hitting their budget, they're hitting all this stuff, they will not leave. So the reason we lose money is because us, the leaders, don't care, and we're not spending enough time on the top leadership position to send a clear message to the managers, so the managers can send it to the employees, because the employees will not leave you for a quarter. If they're organized and they're making their money, if they're growing on their position, they will not be leaving you. The reason that people leave because at the end. So I brought that conversation that we lost money, and I started with that to be able to explain why people leave in the company, but they still gonna leave you for they're gonna bring their poor excuses, they're gonna leave you for a quarter. What is it for them? They're gonna care. They're gonna care, and then their vision is gonna redirect. They're gonna see another different. The reason that people disrespect you and people don't stop believing you because they got too much access to you, and they feel like they're part of the growth, part of that, which is good. But now they want it to somehow put their opinion on where should you go when everything is good, but when everything was bad, nobody was there, right? So to go back to the question, yeah. So yeah. At the end of the day, to retain employees, to retain crystal clear communication, the message has to be crystal clear, accountability, and people got to win. People not winning, they're gonna go. And what I'm saying people needs to be winning is that they need to know that the company is winning, because the company is growing, and they already know that the company is growing and they're making money. It's just a matter of time that they're gonna organize and take care of everybody. It's just a matter of time. Because if you always tell your employees that you're losing money, you're losing money, you're losing money, you're losing money, what do you think they're gonna think? They think it's like, we're the problem. And their vision start rerouting to somewhere else, redirecting to somewhere else. So at the end of the day, crystal clear communication. People gotta know that you're winning. You gotta hold them accountable, and take care of them on based on what you say. When you win, they win. When I own, they own. Same thing. When I exit, they exit. You know, there's a lot of people that I mentor that, and I say that they're stupid. Put it out there. Put it out there. They're stupid. They call out their best leaders in front of others. You should have a conversation outside. Even if you're gonna award them, give them an award. Tell them so they know. So now they can prepare because they may have something to say in front of those people. So if it's bad, don't fucking do it. Don't put it. Don't do it in front of the rest of the team. It's embarrassing. If he's winning, same thing. But let him know before so he knows. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of us doing it in a way that we offend others, and people take really personal. You really hurt people's feelings because that loyalty that we've been talking about is like it's crazy. But I mentor a lot of people that I'm not their mentor no more, but they just call them off in front of everybody, and that's stupid. That's the stupidest thing to do as a leader. That shows no respect. That shows no leadership from you, from the person. So as leaders, my recommendation is you need to have a conversation outside and let them know why. And the conversation may go a different way. And the reason why I say that, because when somebody decides to move away from you, it wasn't because the private conversation, it's because you throw them under the bus in front of everybody. But as leader, why that person fell? Because of the leader above. So if my people's failing, it's my fault at all time. So who's the leader? I'm the leader. Why I'm calling them? So I'm doing a terrible job. I'm a terrible leader. And when I say this, there's drivers in the good side and there's drivers on the bad side. And let me explain why. So that leader that I'm talking about is on the bad side. So when you influence, when you push somebody to believe to the, hey, Bob, what do you need from me? I need this by this day, and let me know, this is what I have, this is where, boom, boom, this is all the data. What else you need from me? I know you can do it. I need it by this day. That's a good leader. But you get the leader on the bad side, still a leader. Hey, I don't care how you do it. I need it by this day. If not, you're fired. That's a bad leader. That's a bad leader. That's exactly a leader that throws his people under the bus in front of others. Because people coming up, they get dismotivated, and they're like, if he's throwing the best guy in front of us and talking the way he's talking, imagine us. So it drops the credibility of all the people for that organization and all that stuff. Communication is the key for any business. If it's not a crystal clear communication, you're not going to make it. So as leaders, I always say there's four type of leaders, but as a leader, the leader I'm talking about is that why you got to identify why the team is distracted, why the team is falling apart, why that. And somebody needs to step up right away and take responsibility. Because I always say that I'd rather be a lonely leader, because I call myself a lonely wolf. I'm not the alpha of the pack. I'm a lonely wolf because I want to make sure that I can design and I can make it to wherever I want to go faster. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes because I don't got a support. I don't have a team to clean my shit on that leadership that I'm talking about. Don't get me wrong, I got the best team. But now that I'm talking where you want to be as leader and how you want to fix yours, I want to be that lonely wolf that survive alone. I don't want to be the alpha of a lot of leaders that they're going to hold me on my decision, that I'm going to hold to see if I'm carrying the whole pack. So where I'm going with that is like, how do you step up and fix and say, take full responsibility. Whoever is in on this situation, on this decision that I make is in. If not, everybody else, get the fuck out of here. You're not going to align with this decision, because this is the only way I feel like we're going to fix it. Because if you start asking the whole team that's falling apart, hey, what do you think? Forget it. Nobody's going to be able to decide, and it'll take weeks. So somebody needs to step up right away and say, I'm that leader. And I'd rather follow that leader with a bad decision that everybody agrees than a leader that two or three leaders, going back to the wolf pack, two or three leaders that they can make a decision and they can agree and nobody's making it. I'd rather be the lonely wolf that can make the decision and get out. You know, I have meetings with my team every day, and based on what I get on is a Zoom or the person, I see their problems. So what I do, make sure they know that every day I'm there for them, and I'm their biggest fan, and I'm the biggest support, no matter what. And I let them know. That's the first things I check. What my team is thinking and why, and how can I get those thinking, those problems, because most of the time they think it's the end of the world because they can handle this, they can push this. That person say, I say, forget all that shit. What is the big goal? So always hitting the KPIs and how can I support my team and how can I remind my team every minute that don't worry about the BS is happening in your life, in the companies and everything right now, that what is the ultimate goal? What is the end result? What is the target? That's what I check to make sure they understand that they have that crystal clear in their mind, that there's no doubt that we're going to make it, and whatever they're going through right now, get it off. I don't tell them get it off, but by me reminding them, they automatically take it off. And then at the end of the day, it's like we have to check, make sure the companies are profitable. And there's impossible to be profitable in companies that are new. So you just got to identify for how long more can you support them, right? So you just, the target is make sure we hit the target that when we come to this date that we design that this is all the investment stuff, now we're supposed to be profitable. We make sure we hit that target that from there on, we're okay. So we got to hit the KPIs to make sure we understand that the time is coming. There's no more time for investment. So yeah, those three things. Yeah, so the team keeps failing on their KPIs and stuff like that. So the first thing to look is, did that really their area or expertise? Like in some companies, right? We're going from from relation to service. Did the team really knows about service? No, right? So how we can be patient enough if we can hire the right people to guide the service side fast enough into what they would put the trigger. So that's part of the investment. We added to the investment. Okay, our goal is to bring this person that can help them understand the relationship is no longer. So the key is how can you bring your team and connect it from relationship to service and not confuse them, because relationship is a longer process. Service, you got to perform. If you're not producing, you're losing. If you're not producing, you're failing. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? So it's how to, that's my biggest challenge. How do I make them understand and connect that to get um, from relation to get to service? How can I get them to understand? So that's my biggest challenge. So I do a test on people. I need to understand my people, what do they think, what they're going through, how they operate, and when I talk to them, I want to make sure I understand them. They know that I'm listening to them based on the R3, right? But one thing that I do and my KPIs, and you asked a very good question. So my team collects the data from everybody, and it's their job to fix all the BS during that week. That team that collects the data from the other team has to bring me a clean sheet, message, KPI at the end of the week that I have to review. And based on on what I see that they need me, I focus on that on Monday or Saturday or whatever. I have to follow up every day. But yeah, so that's accountability that I talked before. You know, how do you hold your team accountable when you're trying to adapt sales into relation, which is confusing and it brings problems, and that's how we do it. We got a team that fix those problems as we go before the end of the week, and we just do an overall review of everything and send it to me, and it's nice and clear, and I didn't hear all the BS and all that stuff. It's not that I don't want to hear. It's just that's the role and responsibility from my leadership team to take care. I did not know that holding your team accountable is micromanagement. So the way I look at it is that it goes back to high driver and the good side, and high driver on the bad. High influencer on the good and high on the bad, right? Is where you lead in your team. So micromanagement is, you want to be micromanaged on your team. You have to, in a good way. But what is it for them to put up with the KPIs, with the with the accountabilities, with the roles that they got to perform, if they getting paid for this, getting paid for that. So between all that process, there's gonna be awards, rewards. So it's gonna be bonus. It's gonna be all that. That's the benefit of stay consistent on that micromanagement that you're talking about. But as a leader, you gotta understand that. As a leader, as a leader, you got to understand that you have to micromanage at some point. My mentor always talk about that. If I own a business, I want to have full control of the business. That's not micromanage. That means he went through a lot of BS on his life that he trusted others to run it, and they didn't run it right, and he had to come in and run it and clean it and all that stuff. And now he looks like a micromanager because now he's holding everybody accountable, which somebody was supposed to do it, and now nobody's doing it, right? So micromanager, I think, is not bad. It's your business. It's your commitment to the people. So you got to hold them accountable, and I don't think it's bad. If it was bad before, if you micromanage the way that you're on top, on top, on top, on top, on top, and you don't trust your team, that's different. But if you trust your team and you only remind them in the morning and in your sales meetings, in your morning meetings, and every 2 weeks or every week on a meeting and all that stuff, that's not micromanage. That's being holding them accountable. But if you don't trust your team and you right there, yeah, that's micromanagement for me, but not the other one. I would love for somebody to micromanage me. And when I say that, it's somebody that I admire, somebody that is a mentor to me. Imagine being micromanaged by Donald Trump. Imagine being micromanaged by Mr. Brandon Dawson. Why not? So, so, so if we go back to that, if I'm really your leader and I micromanage me, why you don't respect me? You agreed to follow my lead. So there's no micromanage. You should respect me to guide you, to take you to the finish line, so where you can win. So that's not micromanage. And even if my mentor would come and say, I don't trust, thank you. At least I got the time to see him. And inside my mind, I'm building that person that, okay. At least I got access. Maybe I'm doing something stupid, so I got access. But he also say, your people, sometimes they're going to ask so many questions, stupid questions, just to have access to you. And this is how he fixed it, just to have access to you. They will figure out questions. So they wanted to be micromanaged, so they're the ones confused, it's not us. So he always say, when somebody asks him a question, he's like, really? That's not your question. Ask me a real question because I feel that you wanted to talk to me and you made that question. What is it? You really got that question? You want access to me? Oh, I want access to you. And he's like, oh, okay, no problem. Next time, just say, I want to have access to you. And that's it. Because a lot of people invent a lot of shit just to have access to you. Stop all that, and that creates confusion, and confusion brings failure. We come from our countries, from other places, from our parents, whatever, right? We never listened to our parents. And now we got to come to this freaking company just because they're paying you, and you got to listen to their BS, and they're the ones fixing you on the stuff that you didn't listen to dad or mom. So yeah, I really believe that. All right, I'm gonna say something that I'll probably not say, but if it comes out, it comes out. So I really believe that people's not afraid of change. People's not afraid of what's new. If it's winning for them, there's just a lot of people that are lazy. And when a person stays on the same company, the same position for over 2 years, for me, that person gotta go. And the reason why I say because that person is comfortable. And companies that buy companies, only buy companies that they got employees over 5 years or longer. There's companies that their employees been there for 30 years, so everybody's looking for those because those companies are comfortable and the team is comfortable, and as soon as they adjust a couple of things, they fire every freaking person, and now they can take it to the next level, and that company worth millions. So people gets comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you're losing. That company is losing. If you have a person in the same position, my advice, for at least 2 years and up, get rid of him if he hasn't go up a position. If he hasn't delivered on the promise that you deliver on your promise. Did he deliver? Get rid of him. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the best person. What I'm saying is that we should all be growing in life. That's how life is set up now. If I'm not growing, I'm dying. If you're not growing, you're dying too, bro. Like you're dying. It is what it is. So yeah, get rid of the comfortable people. And it's not because they're loyal. It's not because they're comfortable. That's the right way to say they're fucking comfortable. I will never hire somebody that tell me, Victor, I want this position. I want to just perform that. I rather, no, I don't hire you. I will not hire you. I don't care if you're the best. If you tell me I just want to be in this position for 5 years, fuck you. And get this message. Get this message. Get this message. If you come into me and ask me for a position to be on the same position for more than 2 years and don't want to move up, you don't come to me.